Derek had actually summarized those procedures are very accurate and very much well understood. On section 12, demolition of hazardous structures, I also see that, no, I'm sorry, I already spoke to that. Okay. Right here it says, on section 14, submittal requirements for historical landmark condition review. You are asking for 12 copies of the proposed north, southeast, and 12 copies of the proposed site plan. I just was wondering why so many, for some of these citizens, 12 copies of this and 12 copies of that might be a little bit too much. You know, so if you could take that into consideration, maybe that you could look into that as well. 12 photographs. Right now, you know, that's what it is. So with this in mind, I just want to let you know that the importance of this historical commission, first of all, needs to be very well respected. If you're going to work for our city and you're going to appoint the members, make sure that you do appoint members that understand, have a respect for history, and that are willing to learn, that you can be teachable. Because there is many, many duties and responsibilities as a historical landmark commissioner that takes place when they sit in those seats. And to me, it's important to know that those that will be representing our historical district and what goes on with our history understand and know how they're going to take those duties into consideration and the responsibilities, that they carry it out through thoroughly and with much sensitivity to our history. It's not easy to let go of what you love, so I ask you with all due respect that take care of our city, take care of our history, and that the people that you appoint will do the same, because this is one city that can prosper economic-wise through tourism, through the interest of our history. We can pull people from all four directions and throughout the world if we only learn how to do it right.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak on this issue? We close the public hearing at 5:48.
Now moving on to the regular agenda. Item number 5, second reading and adoption on an ordinance of the City of Socorro, Texas, providing for the creation and organization of a historical landmark commission, establishing terms of office for said commission, and the means and methods for historical landmark preservation within the jurisdiction of the City of Socorro, Texas.
Council, you'll allow me to speak first and then I'll pass it around. This, from what I understand, you'll be happy to know this, that this ordinance it took many different things into account. It was reviewed through the State of Texas Historical Authority. They reviewed the ordinance. I understand that we're extremely happy with it, that it met all requirements. We also used the City of Bernie templates. The City of Bernie is a unique situation in Texas in that they're the only ones whose historical landmark commission has been tested all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. They had a situation where the Catholic Church wanted to knock down a building, and the city said, no, it's a historical building. And they were challenged, and again, taken all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. So we knew that their document had withstood the legal test, and that was also important to us. So we've also, again, we sent somebody actually to Austin so they can review this ordinance, and they were happy with it. Just some clarification when we talk about where the members will reside, the charter does not get superseded by any ordinance. So what this does is it works in cooperation with the charter, not against it. So yes, the charter does state 3 people will need to live in the affected area, and we will comply with that. But this does not say that, all it says is they'll need to be also residents of El Paso County. So the charter and this work together, not opposed to each other. And I think that's important also, just to clarify. In the, that's basically it. I've gone through the ordinance. We do need to correct that one typo that Mr. Ramos brought up. And so, on page 2 of section 9, changing it from Burgess and Coral. So besides that, it seems like a very strong, there was also some other questions which I understand, which is, there needs to be more clarification. And that's the purpose of the Historical Landmark Commission. They will be the ones who set that criteria, not the council. The council puts the ordinance in place, which gives us the outline of how everything's supposed to run, but they're the ones who will decide on color of buildings that are acceptable, on formations of the buildings that are acceptable. They're the ones who will go through those matters and then, through their historical commission, dictate that, not the ordinance. The ordinance just says you need to set a criteria. So I think that's important that you don't have those details in the ordinance. You just have that needs to happen in the ordinance, and you let the Historical Landmark Commission do that work. And I think that's about it, Mr.
Yeah, I just have a question on the preservation officer. Would you clarify that a little bit, go into that? They act as a member of the committee, or how so is that in the duty of the historic preservation officer?
On page 6, section 5, normally the preservation officer is it's an appointed position. I understand what Ms. Ramos was saying, that we could make it a paid position. I do think that's a good idea, but when we do budgetary items, we don't do it through separate ordinances like a historical landmark commission. We would need to take that up at budget time, and that's where we would fund a person for preservation officer. So this would not be the right venue to fund this position. What this does, again, gives the outline saying to be the historic preservation officer, which we've done in the past. And in the past, it's been a member of staff. But again, if you want to look at funding this position in the future, that would be at budget time, right? Through the budget ordinance, not through the historical landmark ordinance. Anybody else?
I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve by Gabriel Madrid, seconded by Mary Garcia. Gabriel Madrid?
Yes.
Mary Garcia?
Yes.
Joy Rodriguez? Jessica Andra?
Yes.
Motion. Item number 5 is approved. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have anything for executive session? Do you have a motion?
Is there a second?
Yes.
So first and a second to not go into executive session?
No, to adjourn.
To adjourn, sounds good. We adjourn at, Gabriel Madrid,
Yes.
Mary Garcia, Joy Rodriguez, Jessica Andra. And we adjourn at 5:53.